Alrighty. Tai Chi for gait and balance. So take the time to set this setup up if you can, because then the whole class flows really well right from it. You don't have to be yanking chairs around. If you can, you go one chair here, another chair here across from it, creating a space, and then a third chair behind that space, and then have a seat at that front edge. Take your time to create that. And just know that every class on Monday at this hour has this exact setup. So you could always have this set up beforehand. And also, it's a setup you can be doing when you're watching the classes during the week if you are doing that. And also, just a great way to set up and work on your balance. Do some fancy Tai Chi footwork. Now, once you've got your chair, ideally that chair is high enough that your pelvis is at the level of your knees or slightly above is okay. We don't want to be below the knees because then that throws off all the alignment. Sit at the front edge of the chair, and then the pelvis that can roll and tilt, right? We want that slightly tipped forward so our lower back has a natural curve in forward, and then the chest up to counterbalance that too much roundness in the back that many people are dealing with. So that little lift of the chest, pelvis rolled forward, chest slightly up, chin slightly down, crown of head as if suspended by a string to the heavens, right? That's the language of the Tai Chi practice. Crown as if suspended by a string from heaven. Hands comfortably on the thighs with the central vertical alignment. We have what's called zhongjung or central upright. With that in place, we can effectively practice sung or soft, pliable, relaxed, supple, loose through the whole body. Letting your body relax, sort of like a cascade down through it. Many people, when we think about relaxation, the way we're thinking about it is slumping. We go, relax. Oh, okay, slump. But what relaxation actually is more like plump. So when we are tight and rigid and gripped or collapsed, the areas are collapsing or being jammed together and being constricted, tightened. But when we align and then relax, there's this dilation. Like I said, plumping. Think of plumpness everywhere in your body. And then also length and space. So using the wrist or the elbow or the shoulder as an example, when we're tight, we're jammed together, right? We've all probably jammed a finger. You know, you hit something and the joints kind of jam into each other. So when we're tight in our body, that's what we're doing everywhere that tension is present. We're jamming it together. And then that makes sense why movement is less graceful and it's more clumsy and can cause pain, especially as we get older and have less lubrication. So sitting upright and then relaxing the whole body and feel space throughout. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just kind of butterfly flapping my legs a little, shrug the shoulders. It's also a good idea to just hang the arms and shake them a little bit and just, whew, maybe the head and neck, you give it a little roll. We worked on a lot of head and neck stuff on the Friday class. Not sure if you were there or not, but you know, that freedom, freedom of movement everywhere instead of stuck together body. Okay. Then upright, relaxed, let downward heaviness go down through the body all the way through without slouching you, without losing your upright. So you're releasing control, releasing grip, releasing bracing, and finding you don't fall out of your chair. In fact, you settle heaviness under, which becomes a deep rooted foundation. And then what's left, they call it chingling, or light, nimble, movable, buoyant. And we go through this protocol every time because it needs to become second nature, embedded deep in there. It's got to get embedded subliminally, even to the point where you are naturally making those corrections. Body upright, soft and supple. Heaviness goes down, giving you stability. Lightness is left through the body, giving you function. Breathe in through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Out through the nose or the mouth, long, smooth, and empty. That which is pliable and changeable and bendable is living. That which is brittle, stuck, rigid, tense is dying or death, right? This is a Taoist chapter, one of their sayings. So when we're young, we don't have to work at being pliable. When we get older, we better work at it, right? Or else it just kind of goes and sets. So all these movements, have that in mind. That's what you're doing it for, is to, let's go ahead and slide hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, arch your spine, look up. You're trying to break through that brittleness, that rigidity that blocks you. And then settle to neutral, and that's not enough. We got to go the other way, hands forward. We got to hollow the chest and drop the head and open the back nice and broad. And then we come back to neutral and do it again. Opening the front as you slide, hands, elbows, shoulder blades back, arch the spine. And then soften to neutral and slide your hands forward and hollow the chest and drop your head and open the back up. And let's just do that 3 or 4 more times. Again, we do this same general sequence. Once again, my goal is to embed it in your mind. Embed the understanding in your mind of these principles, of these menu options. Because the technique works. Question is, are you doing it? Have you done it? How many days in a row did you take the time out of your day to calibrate the structure and brain and soften and loosen where you're tight? And then let's settle to neutral and just go right into the twist. Left hand forward, right hand and elbow back. Turn the shoulders, turn the head, twist. And then inhale back to center and right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. And twist. And eventually you flow right through center. You just flow. And then flow. Not that you skip the center, you just flow through it. So that you start to see, oh yeah, the body is a liquid, fluid, incredibly interesting vehicle. And then we're back to center. hang those arms loose. Shift the weight to the right buttock, side bend. Float your left wrist up, left foot up, and just kind of lean there, teetering at the edge of the chair. And then back to neutral, crown up top, and then shift the weight a little to the left buttock and lean, float your right wrist. And then we're back to center and lean. Center, lean. Center, lean. Center. Center. Now, feet together, knees together. One more exercise to empty out up top. Fold forward, bring your hands forward, backs of hands touch, lift them up. Then go way open. Turn your palms forward, slide them down. Neutral. Again, forward, backs of hands touch, come up to chest level. Big round opening. Turn your palms forward, slide them down slightly behind you. Two more like that. Again, you've done this exercise. If you've been coming to classes here, you've done it many times. So soon enough, you can start to just make it fluid, make it seamless, make it that sort of the artistry of it. And then we go up. Let's go full range, whatever that range is for you. Big open. Important with this exercise. The range of motion is in front of the body 98%, right? All that movement's happening in front. And then there's just a little 2% behind. But make sure you don't crank your arm back and bother your shoulders, right? So keep the arms here. Notice how I'm not that far behind the body, but I'm a little bit back. So any further, and I'm starting to piss off my shoulders. So come down, and then there's hanging in neutral. But there's all of this range out in front, and we got to take that range back. And then just a little bit behind as you come down. Okay. Now, in reverse, go a little bit behind, up to about chest level, and then come forward and down. Behind and up, forward, down. Back under, behind and up, chest level, forward, down. Behind, back, and up. Now come up and over, up and over, up and over. Touch, and then down. Underneath, back behind you, up the back side, all the way up and over the top. Way up, and then down. And again, if any of this aggravates your shoulder, right? People have injuries. So then you just find the amount you could do, even if that's all it is, or even if that's all it is. It can be small as it needs to be, or it can be as large as it's able to be. And neutral. Okay, scoot back on your chair a little bit. We lift the right knee, load, pull the knee towards your chest, flex the foot a little bit. Now push, full extend, reload, draw the leg up, set the foot down, and we're going to alternate each time. So we're using our hands to maximally fold in, and then release with the hands for a full controlled extension of the leg, and then you reload it all the way up and in again, and then you're down. So we want to get that to flow. So load, push, load, down. Switch, load, push, load, down. And load, push, load, down. And load, push, load, down. Now, right leg extend, point foot, flex foot. And tilt the foot a little in and a little out. Circle. Reverse circle. Switch feet. Extend the left leg. You point and flex. Then you tilt in, tilt out. Inversion, eversion. Then circle. And reverse circle. And down. Now, once again, scoop to that front edge of your chair. Step your feet slightly wider than normal. Lift your toes up. Turning on the heels, turn your toes and knees in. So make this funny looking shape. But if you turn from your hips, the line through the leg is perfect. The joints aren't torqued. You're not doing something weird. You're internally rotating. Now lift your toes, rotate back to neutral, and then go beyond neutral, external rotation. So thighs are open, toes are pointing out. Lift your toes again, turn from the hip joint, internal rotation, then lift your toe. And again, if your feet are too close together, you got no room. So that's why you got to step them wide so you have enough room to let these thighs internally and then externally opening. And then internal, external, internal, external, internal, external. Back to neutral. Now, lift your heels. Heels come in, knees out, external. Then lift your heels. Heels go out, knees and thighs fall in, internal. Again, with the heels lifting. Heels in, knees out. Then the heels lifting, heels out, knees in. And then lift the heels, heels in, knees out. And lift the heels, heels out, knees in. One more. 1, 2. Back to neutral. Feet back to hip distance. Arms hanging loose. Body upright. Remember everything I yapped about at the beginning. Alignment, softness, heaviness down underneath us. That's where our stability comes from. The rest of the body is Ching-Ling, baby. Nice and loose and buoyant, right? That's the goal with our Taoist practice. So now, picture the weight underneath. It's down through my butt, down through the chair, under the ground. If I try to stand up straight from here, I fall back there, right? Makes sense. So that's why to stand up, we have to fold and then forward. Now the weight is not back here, it's down here. So then the standing up becomes nothing, not difficult. So the difficult thing is to transfer where you are plugged into the ground. Now, inversely, when sitting down, I stay under my feet 98% of the way. So there's the hip hinge, then the sinking of the butt, right? So pausing there and going, okay, I'm still in my feet. I haven't started falling out of my feet to the chair yet, right? Which is what a lot of people do. Fold your body parts up. Now your butt is near the chair and you can plug into the chair. On the way up, inversely, it's immediately get your weight out of the butt into the feet. Once that's achieved, the standing up portion is no problem. And then inversely on the way down, Stay in your feet, hip hinge and fold all your parts, then plug into your buttocks down through the chair. But either way, the weight is staying where the weight should be, which is down. Now let's do two more, flowing it a little bit, just forward and up. And then folding and back and down. And remember, you can flow once you've trained your robotic movement first. So the robot is fold, forward, up, right? That's the robot. Fold, fold, sit. Once you have that, then you can move like water. But you got to first be the robot, right? Now we're all the way standing. Don't sit in your chair. Be a robot, fold, sink. Don't sit in the chair, rise up. Those are your Tai Chi squats. And add to it, once you get vertical, hips forward. So you get a little bowing like so. Right? And notice I didn't push my knees forward. I pushed my belly, my pubic area here. Belly, this area forward. And then middle. And then hips behind. And then you fold all your parts. That's a squat. And then rise up to standing. Hips forward. Middle. Back. Sink. Rise. Forward. Eventually this can flow. Just flow. And when I say flow, a lot of times people try and speed up. And if you try to speed up, you usually tighten. So keep an eye on that. But if you just stay super relaxed and you just find like the most efficient way to do it, then that's where Tai Chi speed starts to become available. Okay, now we've got ourselves arranged. The chair is, as I mentioned, I don't know if some of you showed up a little later, we have two chairs, one with the back of the chair facing in this way, another facing in this way. This gives us a little training ground here with our support, okay? So now be closer to your right side chair. I'll speak as if I'm your mirror. This is my left hand, but I will say right hand because I'm being your mirror. Now, touch your navel with your index finger. Touch your belly button. Stick your finger on it. Now, from that belly button, just move a little over to your right leg and then over to your left leg. Almost like you could push with your finger to do it. Move. And what you want to make sure doesn't happen is leaning, right? So when you move from your middle, the vertical axis, the zhongjun, comes with and stays intact. And then we find this straight line down. So remember chunwan, or sinking the heaviness down. So now stay in your left leg. Make sure that leg has a little bend in it. You see how mine kind of bows a little. I'm not locking my leg. I'm softening the leg, softening it. Now stay in that left leg and lift your right heel just a little bit. Lift up to your tippy toe. So I'll turn sideways so you can see some of the angles. We're going tippy toe, down, and now shift from your belly all the way into your right leg. Sink through that right leg. So now your left foot can go tippy toe and down. And then from your belly, shift all the way into the left leg. Weight goes down. Other foot has Ching Ling, lightness, nimbleness. And then change again. Right? So we're going shift, tippy toe with the empty, put it down empty, and then make the empty the full, and this one can move. And put it down and then change. And change. And change. Now, all the weight in your left leg, tippy toe the right, touch your chair for safety and float the right foot off the ground. And place that foot back down, shift all your weight into that right leg, go tippy toe with the left, float the foot down. Some of you, if you've been doing it a while, you feel pretty good, you can try no hand on anything and just work on sinking to allow the rising. So very obviously, if I don't sink correctly, if I'm not really down in the ground and I pull this up, you lose balance, right? If I think it's this, I'm going to throw myself off. But if I remember that it's actually down, and then that makes this free, and then it's down, this is free. Now, if I'm going down, but I'm like this, I got other problems. So that's why you have to find that vertical, then relax, and then you can use the Tai Chi mechanics. Now, place your hand on the chair, empty your left leg, go to the tippy toe. Now let's, from the hip, lift all the way up, all the way down. Repeat on that same leg, all the way up, all the way down. Same leg, no body weight, all the way up, all the way down. Up, down, up. Switch. Put all the weight now in your left leg. Right leg is empty. Now it's got the properties of buoyancy and levity and Ching Ling. So rather than having all this tension everywhere in the body, overworking to try to find stability, Tai Chi says, well, what if you stop doing all of that tension and you relax everything completely, find your stability weighted underneath, and then you've got freedom of movement. So now I've got my weight down here, so that allows me safety here. So now switch each time. Shift to the right leg, left leg is empty, lift, lower, and then shift, lift, lower, shift. And what I want you to see in my body is how little movement there is in terms of this. There's some, but look how little there is in order to make this leg totally free. And then how little movement, my feet are touching, and I'm able to go there and sink through it. And now this one's totally free. And so as you get better, that's what you'll find is you'll find your middle pillar, you'll find more precision from your middle pivot, right? And this, if you can do this, you'll be able to do a number of different functional moves. All right. Now make sure you're somewhat back from that chair on your right side and find your vertical, all the same principles. Now put all your weight in your left leg and take that empty foot and put the heel in front. And then bring that empty foot back next to your left foot and switch. So all the weight goes into your right leg and step the other foot, empty heel, out in front of you. Bring it back. Shift. So one of the number one mistakes everyone makes, most people get away with it until they don't. But when walking forward, the first thing they do is they start falling forward in their upper body, and then they step with their lower body. And luckily, they catch themselves every time. So they go, I must be walking correctly. But the real trick is, instead of that, you sink through the leg where you are and put the foot out there. Right? Let's do that again. Sink down through where you are. So you do not advance forward with your body, just your foot. One more time, make sure it's your right foot that's in front, and we'll do the next exercise, which is down through the right leg. That moves you forward. And then down through the left leg, that moves you backwards. So make sure you have your right foot in front with the heel touching empty. And then from the middle, just down. From the middle, down. Down. Notice I'm on my tippy toe here. I'm not stuck halfway between. Fully arrive in the front leg and empty the back leg. And then down. Fully arrive in the back leg and empty the front leg. Now, with an empty front leg, touch the chair from the hip, lift, lower, shift, moving forward. Back leg empty, just softly bend the knee. toe down, and then commit all your middle weight, plug into the earth here, so that this can lift, lower, commit 100% of your weight into the right. Now the left is empty. Bend, touch, shift. Sink down through the left from the right hip, lift, lower, shift. From that left knee, bend, touch, shift. From the hip, lift, down, shift. From the knee, bend, down, shift. Now, hand on chair for sure, so you can go full lift, down softly, shift. Commit 100% weight down through your right leg. Now your back leg, forward and up. Reach the toe back, no body weight, and shift. And then right knee up, heel, shift. So we're switching each time. So Scott Walker, it looks to me like you're just standing and just doing this over and over there. So notice what I'm doing. I'm shifting back, lifting and lowering, and then I'm shifting forward, and then I'm doing this, right? So it's back, establish, lift and lower, and then I'm going into that new leg. Now this leg is free for the lift and the return. All right. Switch sides, side step, shift, turn your chair. I'm turning my chair. You don't need to, right? You can just do it straight ahead, look at the camera. I turn them so that you can see some of the depth perception. Put all your weight in your right leg, left foot out empty. Make sure you're standing up straight, right? One of the most common mistakes is this. So tail down, chest up, chin down, crown up. Now, commit all your weight down through your left leg. That moves you forward. Commit all your weight down through your right leg. That moves you backwards. Commit down and down. I think it valuable to imagine your body weight more like electric current. That's how it operates. So this idea of an electric current plugging in. So by plugging in with the right leg, your left leg is unplugged and light. And then plug in through the left until you fully plugged. You got no business lifting this leg. But once you fully plugged, this one's free. And then plug in. Now, how do you plug in? You have to relax. Relaxation allows the plug to happen unobstructed. Any tension gets in the way, making us feel top heavy, clumsy, ungrounded. But relaxation, And that's why it's such a lovely practice, Tai Chi, because it's like unburdening this bag of bricks we're carrying around everywhere. You go, oh, wait, I can let go of that. I didn't even know I was holding it. And now I'm realizing I can let go of what I didn't know I was holding. So now stay in your right leg, left leg empty. Let's go full lift all the way down. Shift. And then back leg forward and up. Back. Shift. So we're plugged, and that should allow freedom. And then we change which one we're plugged into, which allows the freedom of the other. And plug. Plug. And switch sides. Side step. Plug. Bring that empty foot in. Now, all the weight in your left leg, right heel touch softly, shift. Now, pausing there, step with no body weight, and then shift. Now we reverse. Shift, pause, wait for it to actually be empty, be able to step it empty, and then shift. forward, shift, step, shift, and shift, step back, shift, shift, step, shift, shift, step, shift. Level 2, hand touching chair. Lift, lower, like we did in the previous exercise. Shift. Now this foot, instead of stepping through this way, we've got an obstacle. Pick up the foot and step over the obstacle and down, and then shift, and then that little flamingo lift. Then in reverse, shift, important, float up, tuck, extend, then shift. The weight down underneath, this leg empty, float, down. Some of you might try this with just a light touch or even no hands someday. Shift, step over, shift, little flamingo, touch down, and then shift. Teacup right on top of your head, or the string suspending you from heaven while the whole body is swung and loose. Commit. Step over, the body's not going anywhere. Then you commit and the body moves forward in space. Commit, body moves backwards, the body doesn't go anywhere at all. Doesn't go anywhere, still doesn't go anywhere. And then commit, and it goes. Now hand on chair so you can go full lift, lower, shift, and then we go full range obstacle step. Heel to butt, knee to chest, leg extend, down softly, shift. And then the back leg all the way up, all the way back, shift, and up, tuck, reach, shift. Weight is underneath. That makes that movement safe. The weight goes underneath. Heel, knee, foot, down, shift. Feet together, side step near to your other chair. All the weight in your right leg, left foot in front, casual walk. Shift. Step with no body weight. Shift. In reverse. Shift. Casual step with no body weight. Shift. Again. Shift. Step. Shift. 100% into your left leg, which allows the right to step, and then 100% into your right leg, which allows the left to be empty. Let's touch the chair and go lift, lower, shift. Once the back foot's empty, it can step over that imaginary obstacle, comes down with no body weight, and then all the body weight. Little flamingo with the empty foot. And then all the body weight into your left, so your right is light as a feather. Still light as a feather. The extension cord extending but not yet plugged in. Then we commit all the weight, like an electric current down. This floats. Then commit all the weight. Step over the obstacle, and then commit all the weight. And just note, if you had a whole bunch of tension up here, you'd be carrying around heavy bag of bricks, which makes you more likely to fall. So always remind yourself to let go, to soften, to relax, so that this top feels light, feels empty. Let's go full range. Up, down. Commit 100%. Heel, knee, right? And as I'm lifting this knee up, notice I'm not pulling my body up. My body's just hanging out. My This is extending and bending, right? And then I commit. And then I'm just hanging out, and this comes up, and it goes back. And then there's this commit. And then you're just hanging out here, and you tuck, and you reach, and hanging out. So you're just like, oh, just relax. Good. All right, let's put that into next level challenge. Come all the way to the left side of your space. You got your two chairs here. They act as your support. I'll be right back. Okay, so you're at the far left of your space. You've got yourselves a runway. Level 1. All the way into your right leg, left foot in front. Commit 100% into your left leg. That moves you forward. The key thing to feel here is that when you step your foot, you do not move forward. When you commit your weight down, you are moved forward. So you don't stay stuck and fall like this. You step the foot while remaining where you are. Then you decide to commit the weight skillfully down through the leg. That moves you forward. Then you step and you commit, and down moves you forward. Step, commit, down moves you forward. And then in reverse, down moves you back. You step the foot back, but note, when I'm working with people, I often see this. The foot goes back and the body drifts back with it. Try to have none of that drift. Put it back there, then commit all the weight. No drift, step, and then commit all the weight. All right, step with no drifting back, then commit all the weight, which the whole body moves back together in harmony. Step with no weight, commit all the way. Commit all the way forward. Step with no movement forward. Commit all the way forward. Until you can do this skillfully, you won't be able to really flow forward and just breeze right through. So again, this slowing down to reclaim the harmony of all your parts, to realign and calibrate vertical axis, suppleness and softness, which is the means by which our electric current grounds. And then we also have the joint mechanics operating correctly when everything's soft. When it's rigid, they're not operating correctly. Step, step. So now you can try and flow it a little bit. Down moves you back, down moves you back, down, 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 down. Stick with that exercise with small steps, or if you're feeling better, take a larger stride, but still commit the weight down. Take the leg out, take a larger stride, but still commit the weight down. Step, commit the weight down. So now you're covering a little more ground each step, but that doesn't mean you start lurching forward or backward. You can take a larger stride, but you still got to plug down. Take a larger stride, plug down. Stride, plug down. Stride, plug down. So let's just go there and back 2 more times at your own pace, either small steps or larger steps. Be tracking Zhong Zheng, central upright. Song, soft and supple. Chun Wan, are you letting the heaviness go where heaviness goes? Down. And are you utilizing Qingling, lightness, looseness? It doesn't mean sloppy. Loose does not mean sloppy. It means loose. All right. Now turning the face forward. Once you're at the far left side, the starting gait, turn and face forward all the way down through your left, right foot out, in, out, in. Do that a few times. Out, in. Remember that space that we were when we externally rotated and we were getting the legs moving? That's called the quad, where the pelvis and the leg open and close from each other, extend and separate and then rejoin. Now, step the right foot out, close the right groin or quad, but now open the left. Now close the left, open the right. So your pelvis and spine and body is moving inside of this space. So notice now my feet are on the ground. My feet are on the ground here, and they're not moving, and I'm opening this groin, and now I'm closing this one and opening this one, and closing and opening, rather than leaning and leaning. And notice, Scott, that I'm not bringing my foot in. I'm not doing this right now. Just notice that. I'm doing a specific thing here. This and this. The feet are magnetically glued to the ground, sealed to the ground, but yet I'm finding internal movement. Now, stay in your right leg, left leg empty, bring it in and out. In and out. So now the left leg is the only moving leg. Now bring the left leg in, feet touching. Change all the way down through your left leg. Your right foot is free. And then change all the way down through your right leg, left leg free. Change, change. This is, those of you who also take Zumba, this is the key to Zumba. This is the key to Latin dance. Down, which frees this, down, which frees this. So that's that, right? You see me dancing where I'm not going anywhere, but I could step and step and step, but it's all because of this Tai Chi mechanism and one empty, one full, one empty, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom. So finding that freedom down there of down, down, down. Now put all the weight down through your left, step. Shift underground, all the way down through your right, step. Put all the way down through your left, right where it is, so you can step again. So we're traveling to the right. Down. And then bring that foot in. Go down through this leg, which then frees the foot to step. Down. Step. Down, step. Down, step. Going back the way we came. So as you get better at alignment and relaxation and letting the weight go, then the foot is freer sooner. So that's where speed gets to come back. The sooner I can drop all the weight is the sooner I'm free to step. And the sooner I can get down here, sooner I can step. So eventually it can be ba-ba, ba-ba, da-da, da-da, almost simultaneously. Ba, 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 ba. And so now let's add to this the weight shift, turn, brush, and sweep. So we work on this on the Friday class. The full Tai Chi sort of upper body choreography. This is called the bear washing its paws in the stream. So what we're adding, we've got the same down through the leg, but we're adding a little turn and the arms. And then we're going down through the leg, turn, arms. Down through the leg, turn, arms. Down through the leg, turn, arms. Let's add the walk. Step your empty foot in. Down through the leg, turn, arms. Step the empty foot, right foot, out. Big step out. Then down, Turn the body, arm, step in. Change the weight down through the left leg, turn the body, sweep the hands. Right foot is empty, step it out. Shift, turn, brush and sweep. Step in. Change the weight down through the left leg, turn, brush and sweep. Step out. Step. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in, step out again, and shift, turn. Let's go back the other way. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, step. Which can eventually yield the holy grail, the Tai Chi holy grail of stillness inside of total freedom of movement. Right foot in, right foot out. Let's add a challenge. Bring your left hand up around chest level. Shift, turn, brush, knee, swap the jumping fish. As you step in, your high hand goes low, your low hand goes high. And then shift and turn, brush, knee, and swap the fish the other way. And then as your hands change, you step. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Hands change while stepping. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Hands change while stepping. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Step. Shift, turn, brush, swap. Step. So we're freeing the mechanisms from their stuck state. We're freeing the middle from being stuck to the mechanisms of the body. So inside the middle is a sense of internal equilibrium and stillness, even though we're yinning and yanging all over the place, right? We're high and low. We're turning one way, then we're low, high, change and step, and then we're full and empty, and then we change full and empty. And then right when we finish on one side, then we're on our way back to the other side. We're yinning and yanging. The body's built for this. The chi requires it. It requires extending and bending and folding and unfolding. Now, let's do that slightly more sophisticated. Folded top hand, we shift and turn, brush knee and push. Then you bring that left foot in. As your left hand goes down, right arm, wing roll, fold. And again, we do more of this on the Friday class. So this is where you can learn these techniques. Shift, turn, brush knee, and push. Stepping out. Right hand goes down, left arm, wing roll, fold. We're ready to go. Shift and turn and brush and push. Left foot comes in as the hands are changing. Shift and turn and brush and push. Hands change. Shift and turn, brush and pull. Shift and turn, brush and pull. Switching directions by bringing the foot in and out. Heading out this way. Step in. Turn. Cross. Right? So it's deceptively complex or deceptively simple, I guess would be the way to say it. It looks like it's really difficult because it's like juggling. There's a lot to sort of coordinate. That's why we do the Friday class with the upper body choreography, and then usually we do a lot of just the lower body, but I love using this time here to connect. Now, cloud hands, we connect the top and bottom. So we've got, this is the back of the back of the hand facing forward. This is a cloud. This is sweeping the leg. Then you step in, the hands change, and then we shift into that left leg, turn, cloud leg. So Sullivan, other hand. There you go. Cloud leg. And then they chain. Right foot steps out. So it should be your right hand up now, right? If I'm your mirror. And then cloud leg. And the hands change. Vapor and rain. Bring the foot in. And then shift and turn. Cloud leg. Make sure this hand stays high. This hand stays low so that you get all of that development for your brain, that change as you step. The hands play with clouds. Stepping in. Shift and turn. Cloud. Stepping out. Shift and turn. Now bring that left foot in, out, and then we shift and turn. Cloud. And Gail, notice what you just did there. Right? Look at how I'm doing this. So see how your poor left arm is totally forgotten here, right? So look at this. Oh, so you're still forgetting your left arm. Your left arm. You're leaving it back out of here. They come together, and then they're together, and then step, and then it's both of them together. So don't let that left arm go like this and nothing else happens. The whole body, the right hand's got to come, the right hand's got to come, the right hand's got to come. And then they change simultaneous. Bring the right foot in. That's why I'm always saying last person there wins. Last person there wins. If you're the first person there, you probably just yanked on your body and threw it around. Versus if you slow down and you harmonize and you go slow, connected. And when you're moving that connected, you're actually moving from here. If I'm doing this, I'm grabbing and throwing something separately. If I'm here, you can see it maybe in my body. And then here, my body turn and my shift does the majority of this. And then only at the end do you let that hand go. Rather than, and then nothing else makes sense, versus keep it here, body. Don't forget your right hand. It's late. It's late to the party. Now it'll be your left hand to not forget. And the right hand to not. And then wash, wash, settle. All right. Now come once again and stand in between your chairs, and we're going to do a little hip training. So put all your weight in your right leg, left leg, externally rotate, turn it out a little bit, just a little. Lift to the tippy toe, and then lift the leg up. So the leg is lifted but slightly open. It could be 1 degree. If you have tight hips, just a little bit open, and then that 1 degree or more, close. And then take the leg down to neutral. And we'll do that again. Turn the leg, so the foot turns out, but it's not the foot by itself. It's the hip socket, right? It's that ball and socket. Turn out, tippy toe, lift, close, down. We're going to repeat that on this leg. No rush. Just open, float, close, extend. Open, float, close, down. Open, float, close, down. Open, float, close, down. Now, side step, shift, go closer to your other chair, this leg. Open, tippy toe, lift, close, softly extend and release. Open, tippy toe lift, close, down. Open, lift, close, down. Open, lift, close. One more. Switch sides. Now, same leg, except turn on the ball of the foot. See how my heel is out, my leg bone internally rotates. Get to the tippy toe, bring the knee across the body and up, and then open and down. Again, the important piece is if you start cranking on this and you go, oh, it's clicking or my hip is straining, you have to be able to shrink your dosage so that it could be this small. Right? That's doing the shenfa, this little mechanic. But it can, yes, it can eventually be a big round movement. But the question is, what dosage is medicinal and therapeutic for you? Switch sides, turn, tippy toe cross, open, yeah. Internally rotate, tippy toe cross, inside out, down. Spiral, spiral, yeah. Spiral. One more. And wing roll fold, settling. And then palms together, rub them. Rub the back of one hand, palm, back of other hand, palm. Now the quad, the two groin area, hand on either side there, that inguinal crease. So you got your genital area in the middle. The tissue on either side there is where these lymph nodes are. They need some attention, but it's also where the sort of tender but powerful muscles and tissue are. So we're just making sure that's clear, right? And then front of hips, hip flexors. So the top of the thigh. Then the tail, lower back just above there. And then like we're doing a squat, the butt goes back and sinks, sweep the hands down the outside of the legs, around to the inside, come all the way up to your navel. And then lastly, up your outer right arm to your shoulder, turn the arm palm up, sweep down and off. We'll do that twice more. One, turn, two, and one, and two. Switch arms. One, up the outer, turn, two, down the inner and off. Turn the arm, up the outer, turn, down the inner and off. One more. Up, turn, down. And then finally, closing the whole practice, this gesture tells the chi, the life force, to go back to its middle. So notice the hands where they are. Down here, right? Not here or here, but here. This is that middle where we move from, right? And then seal the practice. One hand over, other hand stacked. Thank you, everybody. Great job. Have a wonderful rest of your week. If there are any questions, comments, anything at all, feel free to unmute. You have to unmute.
Accelerating the pace of discovery in engineering and science. Learn more at
Thanks, Otto.
All right, Renee. Bye.
Institute at Boston University.
Anything else?
Business Broken podcast featuring conversations with academics, industry leaders, and
Good to get back in here today.
Good. Bye, Gail. You make sense, Gail, of the swinging arms? Slow down. Well, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Put everything together. together.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Right.
Anyone else? Karen, Scott?
Yes, does the recording of this video, is it accessible through Zoom?
Yeah, through the PD Active website. We're unclear right now as to what the turnover time is, like how long it takes for this class to be on there. But there's a lot of previous classes, so plenty of resource to just pick a class, take a class. A lot of it is the same material, right? It's the same principles, same exercises, just put together sometimes differently in other orders. So
Wonderful.
something to check out.
Great. Thank you.
All right, take
Great
care.
class.
Bye, Sarah.